Is there a viewer? Oh, it's me. How strange. Hello, I'm here all alone. I'm here to answer your questions. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself, which not something I like to do every day or every morning. But I'm very excited about the new season. I think the new season is it's a glorious thing. It's glorious. It's like when the Pope walked into the Sistine Chapel and he beheld the ceiling. So yeah, if you have any questions, then do let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to hang out sort of backstage and, I don't know, look up some stats or something, pass the time. We're 1 hour and 23 minutes away from the big kickoff. So there you go. I don't know, I'm very excited. So thanks, Midnight Toker, for being here. And there you go. How long do you think Arteta will last? Oh, good question. Good question. They looked very poor last night. Absolutely. I'm going to put that on the screen. There you go. How long do you think Arteta will last? I thought he was the wrong man for the job when he took the job. And there are some good managers out there. I think, is Allegri still unemployed? I'm not sure. But Arteta, I mean, they've got such a difficult start to the season. I'm going to bring up some Arsenal fixtures now. Hang on, let's have a look. There you go. So let me see if I can do this. I'm new to this StreamYard thing. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to see the boys back tonight. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, how do I do this? Share the screen. It's easiest with two monitors. Okay, share the screen and the window, this window. There you go, share. Oh, bingo, look at that. These are Arsenal's fixtures. And you can see, you just look at their results. The semi-final, of course, they lost to Villarreal, conquerors of Manchester United. And, they're generally underwhelming, aren't they? 2-0 against Brentford. Then they got Chelsea, West Brom, Man City. West Brom? Oh, okay. EFL Cup second round. Wow. Man City, Norwich, Arsenal, Burnley, Tottenham, Brighton, Palace, Villa. They all look difficult for Arsenal. They all look difficult. And so I think Arteta will probably last until they will lose at home to Newcastle, and then he's out of there. They're playing Newcastle on the 27th of November. Question, do you think Verge will start? It's a very good question. Midnight Toker, it's a very good question. Yeah, as you say, just after, he seems not ready for 90 minutes, but what do I know? Yeah, it's very true. What do we know? It's a very good point. A very, very valid and true point that not many people actually pay enough attention to, especially, I don't know, the weirdos who just think that they know better than our medical science department. And, there are certain things that we never, ever, ever get to see as fans. So, for example, a controversial decision like Naby Keita, starting Naby Keita against Real Madrid. Obviously, it backfired. He was substituted on 42 minutes. He had a very poor game. But we will never know what he was like in training. We will never know. He might have been absolutely unbelievable and undroppable. Oh, Doug's in. Hi, Doug. We're talking about, do you think, Verge will start? I think Verge will start, but we've got to leave it up to the experts. There you go. So it's really nice to have you both here. So there you go. Keep your questions coming in. I mean, having Virgil sign the new contract is marvelous, isn't it? It is absolutely magnificent. The first, that pass he did, the first pass, the long 60-yard ball after coming back from injury, it's just everything he does is going to be met with raptures of love and adoration because we've missed him very badly. I read a great stat on the BBC site that they got from Opta, and I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna read it out to you. Hang on a moment. Van Dijk. Let me try and find it. I'll try and find it. I'll share the screen. Yeah, how's your channel doing? Oh no, Sean is a right-wing Trump-loving Canadian. We'll have none of that here. I don't know who Sean is, but there you go. We'll have none of the Trump supporting. Oh man, yeah, there you go. Doug, how's your channel doing? Is it going well? It seems to be going from strength to strength, from what I can tell. I'll just get that Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk, share the screen again. Oh yeah, I'm getting quicker at this. There you go. There's this article from the. Oh yeah, you do pop in. I'm sure Doug appreciates that. Midnight Toker, absolutely. Like I appreciate your being here as well. Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool defender, signs a deal until 2025. And you scroll down, and you see did you know? Okay, let's zoom in here a bit. There you go. Hang on. Did you know since Van Dijk joined Liverpool in January 2018, he has won 72 of his 95 Premier League games. That's a win rate of 76%, which is the best of any player to make 80 or more appearances in the league over the same period. I believe he's played 129 matches for us, and it's absolutely crazy how good it is. Hi, Dave. If anyone wants to join in, Dave's here as well. Great to have you here, Dave. Then there's the link. You just follow the link, jump in the chat, if it's open to anyone. Yeah. So there you go. That's my that's the BBC thing I saw that was interesting. There's also the Sadio Mane thing on LFC TV. You can see, look at all my favourites there. They're all basically Liverpool related. There you go. There's this interview with Sadio Mane, and you can just play. I can just play this. I don't want to infringe any copyrights because I'm going to put it with the volume. But you just need to have a look. I just want to look at a few still images from this. This is the wrong video, isn't it? Oh, yeah, there you go. Mane, he looks happy. He looks happy. He looks raring to go. He looks like he's rested, relaxed, and focused. And honestly, if I was any defender in the Premier League and I saw this guy, if I saw this interview, I would be absolutely terrified. Midnight Toker's a very good point. You said he looks slow in preseason. Oh, you're talking about, Virgil van Dijk looks slow in preseason. Well, yeah, I mean, let's talk about that for a while. It's a good thing to talk about. I don't understand everyone wishing for a not fully fit Virg to play. Yeah, I think we have to defer to the experts, as I was saying earlier. But yeah, if he's not fit, Dave is here. Dave, how's it going?
Absolutely fantastic. Match day, baby.
Have you been there long?
No, about 16 years.
Okay, sorry, because I'm new to the StreamYard thing. I don't know how long you've been in waiting.
Oh, about 30 seconds. About 30 seconds.
Okay, good, right. Okay, so there you go. Midnight Tokers. Good point. I don't understand everyone wishing for a not fully fit Virgil to play. Let me stop sharing. Hang on, stop the screen. It's good to StreamYard, isn't it? So there you go. So that's a question for you, Dave. I mean, obviously, if he's not fully fit, then we don't play him, do we? Or do we think, well, even an 80% Virgil van Dijk is still the best player in the league?
Yeah, I mean, we did a show last night, of course, on my channel, and I picked Matip and VVD to be partnering each other. I just thought we need that experience away from home in the Premier League. It's a tricky game, Everybody's writing Norwich off, even myself. I'm writing Norwich off. I'm going to say we're going to win 2-0, but we only get our defense right. Virgil's missed a lot of football. I just think you got to throw him in because the next two games is Burnley at Anfield and then Chelsea at Anfield. I think I just don't see. I mean, Klopp maybe has something up his sleeve today, especially in midfield. Let's see what happens. But I think Matip Van Dijk plays even an 80% Matip is 100% average. Is 100% centre half basically, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, he's a monster, and he's our monster, and we love him. We love him. He's the kind of monster that you wouldn't mind having in the, in the cupboard or hiding under the bed. Yeah. He's sort of, exactly what we want from a defender. He's unbelievable. Let's talk about today's games, Dave. I'm going to share the screen just so we can have a look at Man United versus Leeds United first. Hang on. Share the screen again. Share the screen. Yeah, share the screen. Still sharing. Okay, there you go. Share. Whoa.
There we go.
So here we go. So some pre-match stats, if this works, from Google. No, it doesn't work. Nothing. Come on, give me something. Lineups. Oh yeah, they normally post something in the timeline. There you go. Insights. That's what I was looking for. So Manchester United and Leeds United are set to face in their opening each other. I think they're missing. Are set to face each other in their opening top flight league match of the season for the first time since 1970-71, when Leeds finished runners up. There you go.
Yeah.
In the league that season. Spurs won it that season, didn't they? They won a famous double or treble or something. But anyway,
that was unreal, wasn't it? That was a bit. I mean, back in the 70s, Leeds had a very good side in the 70s, didn't they?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, as far as I can, read up about and learning about Don Revie and legends
Johnny
like that.
Giles Johnny Giles, Billy Bremner.
Billy Bremner, yeah, the hard nut. Okay. Leeds are winless in their last 16 league visits to Old Trafford. Wow. Against Manchester United. But do you ever pay any attention to this kind of thing, Dave? Or is it, they're winless in their last 16? Yeah, Billy Bremner. Hello, 1892 Reds podcast. I was going to put that because that's a very... Yeah, exactly. Billy Bremner. Hello, nice to see you. So yeah, Leeds are winless in their last 16 league visits to Old Trafford. Do you pay any attention to these kind of insights, Dave, or is it doesn't matter because it's like it's a new team? It's completely different to the team, for example, in 1993.
Yeah, but you know what? There always seems to be a team. Liverpool have 2 or 3 of them that have a record against them, and it goes against the grain of natural selection where you think our team is 9-10 times better than that team, even though like the likes of Burnley, the likes of Crystal Palace always seem to give us a game when they shouldn't. There's always that little thing going back maybe 10, 20 years where we've a really bad record there. You've heard people say that. We've a really poor record there. And there is something to it. It's probably psychological. It's nothing to do with the teams because the teams have changed so much over the decades and the players have changed so much. It's a psychological thing. And football is probably, a large percentage psychological. When you go out onto the pitch and you're thinking of winning the game, no matter how good you are, half your job is done if you're psychologically in that mindset to saying we're going to win it, even though you're up against a far superior team. So I think there is something to it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's an interesting idea. And if we're talking about the psychology of Leeds United, then I mean, they, as it says here, they lost 6-2 last season.
Yeah.
6-2 is something that's going to be, haunting the Leeds United players. And apparently, with Manchester United not having Varane, who hasn't officially signed for them until perhaps next week, although there might be something fishy going on. Yeah, it is a bit. It's a bit weird, especially because they're official.
It's a bit of a Nabil Fekir going on, maybe with something.
It could be. It could be indeed. Absolutely, some medical issue. So I mean, without Varane, there are rumours that Sancho won't play. I'm not sure why, but I was listening to a podcast and a Manchester United fan said, he probably won't play. He'll probably start in the next game. So there's no Varane, no Sancho, no Rashford, of course, because he's gone for an operation. He won't be back until October. They're still a good team, of course they are. But I wonder if Leeds will, just get a little bit of a psychological boost from the missing Man United players and the fact that they will want revenge for that 6-2 mauling. What do you think, Dave?
No, I just at Old Trafford, the fans are back, of course. They'll be packed out, 75% or whatever, packed out at Old Trafford. I can't see anything other than United win. They'll have too much for them. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong because there's nothing better than an opening Premier League Manchester United defeat or even a draw. But I just think United will have far too much for them all over the pitch. It'll be a good game though, because as we know, Leeds are a good team. They'll come at them. They won't be afraid of them. I think there could be a few goals in this. It could be something like a 3-2 or something. But I'm looking forward to it. What's a 12:30 kickoff? Is it?
It's kicking off in an hour and 8 minutes. I'm going to stay live until then. You can drop out whenever you like, Dave. Other people can join if they like. The link is in the comments, the StreamYard link. Absolutely. 1892 Reds says Man United 2, Leeds 1. Wow. Okay, there you go. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure because there's a player. This guy. I'm going to show you some things here. If we're going to have a little look at Jack Harrison, I'm really excited. Okay, we know about Stuart Dallas. He's a wonderful player for them.
Yeah.
But just look at a couple of things for Jack Harrison. He got 8 goals and 8 assists last season, right? But most of them came in the last 10 games when he was absolutely on fire. And I think he's 23 years old. He signed on a full deal for Manchester City now. I think he can cause them a whole lot of problems, as can Stuart Dallas, as can, of course, Rafinha, Rodrigo, Patrick Bamford. They're a good side, Leeds. They're a good side. They can cause an upset, and I think they will today. I do. I mean, it's wishful thinking, perhaps.
I know a Leeds. I know a Leeds United fan. I met him yesterday. He's a big Leeds fan since the 70s. Actually, he goes way back. And he actually has them as an outside chance for top 4. And I thought I think that's a bridge too far. But
top 6, maybe. I don't see them being
no chance top 4. I don't think
being top 4. No. Burnley, Brighton. Are you interested in talking about anything to do with that, or should we move on?
Absolutely not.
Okay, fair enough.
That'll probably be something like a 1-1 bore draw.
Absolutely. There you go. Hey, big up Owen. Hello. Spoke to you yesterday on Gem's stream. Hi. It's ZVO Genius. Yeah, excellent. Yesterday I joined a stream, a Chelsea one. So if you want to join ZVO Genius, then there's the link. Just putting it in the chat now. If you want to come and join us or you want to post your questions on the chat, you're more than welcome. Excellent stuff. There you go. Thank you very much. 1892 Reds. I'd love to join, guys, but I have to referee a game. A referee. Excellent stuff. It'd be great to to have a referee's perspective on Cop On.
Send them off.
Send them all off. Bin them all. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Go viral. Have a fist fight with the manager. Yeah. Well, good luck. Burnham Ramblers. Okay. Well, there you go. Good luck with that. It's great to have a ref in the chat. Excellent stuff. Multitasking at the moment. Will listen in. Okay. There you go. Dave Uni. Doug's here. Doug's here as well. Hello, Doug. How's it going?
Good morning. Yes, it's match day, people. It's match day.
All right, Doug.
It's match day. It's the afternoon in Spain. It's 12:25, but we've got an hour and 5 minutes to kick off, and that's the most important time on this globe that we live on. It's absolutely fantastic to have you with us, Doug. Dave refused to talk about Burnley Brighton for reasons I completely understand. I think Brighton, I like Lewis Dunk. I really do. He's an underrated defender. Apart from that, Trossard's pretty good. I can watch Brighton. They're quite entertaining to watch. I'm a big fan of Bissouma. Yves Bissouma. A dream signing for me for Liverpool. But there you go. Do you have anything to say on Burnley Brighton, or shall we move to Chelsea Crystal Palace, Doug?
I'm going to be honest. This is probably going to be one of those games that's either going to be either last on match of the day, a boring 0-0 draw, or basically 1-0 either way. It's not going to be a classic. I've gone 1-0 Burnley because it's the most Burnley result out there. So yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 Burnley.
It could well be, couldn't it? I don't know if they've got injured players. I don't know anything about them, really. I don't know if they're... But okay, we'll move on. Chelsea, Crystal Palace. Patrick Vieira coming into a team, where it's all change. Crystal Palace, I saw a poll The Athletic did. I don't know what you think, if you saw that, Dave, about they call it the Hope-ometer. And it's the fans.
Yeah.
You saw it? You saw it? So, I mean, the fans...
Liverpool are way up there.
Yeah, but Crystal Palace are second on the Hope-ometer table, and they say it's the hope that kills you. And I wonder if you know why they're so hopeful, Dave, or what you think of that.
Well, there is a trophy called the Hope-ometer Trophy, so it might be worth winning.
Put it next to the cuckoo.
I haven't got an app. Maybe because Roy Hodgson left. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I think that might be the thing. I do think that might be the thing, because I spoke to a couple of Crystal Palace fans last season when we were previewing Liverpool matches, and they were, they were quite defiantly pro Hodgson.
Yeah.
But now that he's left and they have the possibility of playing, at least slightly attractive football, then maybe this is why they're upbeat. I don't know. Why do you think they're upbeat, Doug?
Look, I think I said it on a podcast earlier this week. I think Palace have actually done pretty well in the transfer market. They've managed to get rid of injury-prone players like your Sakos, like your Dans, like your Cahills, and I do think that they have actually strengthened. It is a risk strengthening from the Championship onwards, but Michael Olise is a very good signing from Reading. Obviously, they've got Eze to come back as well. Mark Guehi was one of the best defenders in the Championship last season for Swansea City. So I think Palace are going to have a good season under Vieira. I don't get all this nonsense about Vieira potentially being the first one to go. And yes, it's a risky appointment, but if you actually look at it, I think Crystal Palace will. I fancy Palace to get a result today. I don't think they'll win, but I fancy them to get a result.
I'm going to look at the table, look at this for Ligue 1 to see how well or badly Vieira did last season, because I just don't know. So let's see if you can see this. There you go. They finished 9th, okay, behind Lens, Montpellier, Rennes. You get into the good teams, but 9th is okay for Nice. But yeah, Nice would probably like to finish sort of 5th or 6th ideally.
That was a nice finish for Nice.
Yeah, very good, Dave.
Very good, very good,
very good. Anyway, okay, let's get that. Yeah, so Palace. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't know much about those players that you mentioned, Doug, but yeah, I really like James McArthur. I've always been a fan of his in midfield. Steely midfielder, underrated. 1892 Reds. He says, I think Roy did a steady job at Palace. Hopefully for them, not another De Boer situation. Yeah, that's the fear, isn't it? That they move away from, stodgy, safe football, stodgy, hodgy, and, try and be more expansive or try to develop and end up losing a lot of matches. That is indeed the fear. In terms of Chelsea, Dave, Lukaku through the door. Back through the door, the returning man on that long elastic that made him move away for about 5 years, and then boom, he's back at Chelsea. What do you make of it?
He'll score goals. He's a 20-plus goal. He'll get 20 Premier League goals at least, I think. Premier League will suit him. He's a rough and tumble type player, but he's come on. His finishing's got a lot better. You know what I mean? His finishing was a little bit where I remember when he was at Everton, he was scoring goals, but he was missing some chances at United too. He's gone away at Inter. He's done really well there. I think he will score goals for them, and that's what it's all about in the Premier League. They're fairly tight defensively, Chelsea. Obviously, they're European champions, but they've got some bloody squad, don't they? I mean, they could probably field 2 teams similar to Man City. There's some youth players. There's so many players out on loan. I think they've 400 players out on loan or something. But Chelsea, for me, Lukaku, I think gives them that little bit of X factor. I actually do think Chelsea are a threat to the league. Just with signing Lukaku, actually.
Oh yeah, they're one.
And Werner,
they're one of
I don't think Werner can be any worse than he was last year. He has to be better this year.
You would think so. You would hope so. Absolutely. Let's zoom in here. Let's zoom into this one. Again, you got the insights. Chelsea, Crystal Palace. Chelsea have won 16 of their last 20 Premier League meetings with Palace. They're richer. They can afford it. They can afford a great squad that Dave's talking about. One of the favourites for the league. Most pundits have them finishing second behind Manchester City. Interestingly, how no one is talking up Liverpool. But how do you rate their squad, Doug? I mean, they're the European champions after all.
Yeah, it's a very strong squad. I absolutely agree with Dave. I think just basically on Lukaku, I think Lukaku's that kind of striker where he goes and he can score in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row, and then he'll go quiet for like another 6 games in a row. He's a striker that actually has bursts of goals as well, but I think Chelsea have a very, very strong squad. Be interested to see who plays up front today, because obviously Lukaku's ineligible to face Palace today. It'd be interesting to see, because I think Ziyech is injured. I think he dislocated his shoulder actually. So I'd expect Werner and possibly Pulisic to Havertz as well to be up front. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think Chelsea can probably field two teams with the strength and depth that they've got.
Yeah.
Who do you think will be their player of the season, Doug? Staying with you.
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to go Mason Mount.
That's what I said when we were talking about it yesterday on that Chelsea channel I jumped on. Mason Mount. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, Mason Mount's he's a proper player, isn't he? I think Lukaku could. I mean, it depends on what way. If he explodes from the starting blocks and gets goals, and obviously they win something through to the fact that he's scoring goals. I mean, there's a possibility, because it's a big fee around his neck, isn't it? What is it, 100 million, something like that? Over 100 million. It's a lot of money, and I think he could eventually fulfill his potential in the Premier League if he can get 20 plus Premier League goals and fight for the golden boot. I think he has a good chance.
I think you're right. Lukaku, Mason Mount, these are great calls. When I said Mason Mount yesterday on that Chelsea channel, I'd forgotten that my favourite non-LFC player actually plays at Chelsea, and that's N'Golo Kante.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm going to revise my player of the year, because if he plays, they win.
You know, when you're pulling across these little things from the share on StreamYard, is that handy enough to do?
Yeah, I mean, is that Irish dialect for easy?
Fantastically said.
Because they've got two windows open, right? I've split the screen, okay, and so I've got you guys on the right hand side, and anything I look up, I can just pull it over to the.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It really is brilliant.
The left-hand side. It was very good. It's very good indeed. It's very good indeed. After winning back-to-back away league games against Chelsea, Crystal Palace have lost their last 4 visits. They go by an aggregate score of 11-2. Yeah, they're probably going to get hammered, aren't they? There you go. There's something about the rhythm that Palace aren't going to have any rhythm, are they? There you go. I'm just going to go back.
You know your cell phone, every Premier League season start or opening weekend throws up a bit of a, let's say, I know Brentford beat Arsenal last night, but I wasn't even shocked by that, to be fair. I actually predicted Arsenal to get beaten. That's how bad Arsenal are. But it always throws up one or two little, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. I mean, so it's possible.
Well, yeah, I think that was yesterday, though, was the big shock. Am I shocked? It wasn't a shock to anyone.
It wasn't a shock. Everybody was talking about being a tough game.
Everyone was talking about
everybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Leicester, Watford. Leicester have lost just one of their last 24 home league games against Wolves.
I think Leicester is nailed on. They've got a good squad together there. Vestergaard has been a good signing as well. I mean, and Daka will get goals for them. I'm looking forward to having a look at Leicester actually this season. Are you?
I mean, Patson Daka was one of my dream signings for this summer for Liverpool. Looking at his record, I've only seen him on YouTube compilations, and the stats are mind blowing for Patson Daka. So yeah, Daka, Iheanacho, who's suddenly come, looks like he's fulfilling his talent as well. I mean, what a player he is. He's electric as well. So yeah, Daka, Iheanacho,
Maddison, Vardy. They have a lovely, tasty little squad there now.
Maddison's overrated. He's overrated.
He's still nice to have on the bench.
Yeah, on the bench, absolutely. Harvey Barnes. Who did you say, Doug?
Tielemans.
Tielemans, of course. Yeah, they're full of
unbelievable squad.
Yeah, where go on, Doug.
Yeah, I've just there's just team news from Old Trafford. None of Man United's new signings start.
Yeah,
Sancho's on the bench.
You were on the button there, Owen. We said that at the start of the thing, didn't we?
Yeah, we said that a little while ago.
It's De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw. So you've got the fridge and the fridge freezer there. Fred and McTominay, James, Fernandes, Pogba, Greenwood.
It's that back four sounds like Iceland.
That's
There
brilliant.
you go. All right, let's see. You can bring this up here. Look. Oh, whoa, whoa. Okay, there he is, Jack Harrison. I was talking about him. Oh, there you go. You can't see it. There you go, Jack Harrison. Okay, let's talk about the United team then. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Paul Pogba, Fernandes, James, and Greenwood. I'll just make sure you can see that. There you go.
It's pretty much the same team as last year.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
it is. Dan James. I mean, he doesn't look like he belongs. I was actually looking at, because I was desperate for just football content to feed my excitement, and I actually looked at a video of. It was just the only live football related thing that came up on YouTube, and it was Manchester United warming up for the Europa League final in Gdansk. And strangely, I watched that for about 20 minutes.
That was strange. That was strange.
It is pretty strange, but that's how desperate I was for footy content this morning. 1892 Red says, Dave, is that beer in your coffee mug, by the way?
It's an Irish coffee.
Is it? And Dan James, anyway, looking at his body language, he was there in the Europa League final, and he was like a deer in headlights. He was like, you can just tell by looking at him, he doesn't feel like he belongs there. And maybe, Doug, he's right. What do you think about Dan James?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with it. I think he's a player that can go on spurts again. Like I think he's lucky to be starting, because obviously I think Cavani is isolating as well. But I'm not surprised by that United lineup. I'm not surprised by it at all. He always plays McFred. No idea why. Because Fred's one of the worst footballers I've seen for ages. So I think Leeds can get at this United side. I really do. I think obviously Dan James was wanted by Leeds as well, so could be an interesting one. Could be a very, very interesting game. I mean, I've gone for a United win, but actually looking at that side, Greenwood is very, very good. There's no denying it. Fernandes will probably get his usual penalty, no doubt. But yeah, I actually fancy Leeds to give them a proper game. It's going to be a very good game at lunchtime for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, who else? If you're going to pick another one of that Man United team to talk about, Dave, who would you pick, and what do you want to say? Go anywhere you want with it. Oh, Dave's gone. Excuse me. I just.
Wan-Bissaka for me.
Okay.
I think he is a good defender, but if you actually think about it, he has actually been caught out positionally a lot. So I think if Harrison could get down Wan-Bissaka's right, I think Harrison and Bamford could have a bit of joy down there. Obviously, you've got is it Rafinha? Is it Rafinha down Luke Shaw's side? Actually, Rafinha.
There is.
Rafinha is there. And then you've got Rodrigo.
Shaw.
Yeah, Rodrigo as well. So I like the formation that they're actually playing. It's a 3-4-2-1. I actually think Leeds, and obviously Stuart Dallas. Stuart Dallas scores goals at really interesting points of the season as well. So I actually think this could be a very, very good game. I think it'll be a very close one as well.
Yeah, great stuff. The Leeds team, you can see there, I mean, of course, the old Christmas tree formation. Rodrigo, Bamford, Harrison, Rafinha, Click, Stuart Dallas, Luke Ayling. Strike's a good player. Koch is a good player. Cooper, I just don't know. I don't know who that is.
Liam Cooper plays for Scotland. He's a Scottish national player as well.
Okay. And how is he? Is he good?
He's quite decent. He's quite decent, actually. It'll be interesting to see, because I've noticed actually that Junior Firpo doesn't start, which does surprise me a little bit. But that's a very, very good Leeds side. They're going to have to be. I keep saying this. They have to be better defensively. I think they have to be better defensively, because they were so open at Old Trafford last season in that 6-2 game. So I'm hoping that they can keep it tight and compact, and really sort of sort of play Fernandes out of the game, keep him quiet. I think if you keep Greenwood quiet, I think Leeds could get some joy.
Yeah, they're the danger players, aren't they? Fernandes, Greenwood, Pogba. Yeah, it can be dangerous, but it's Fernandes is going to do that floating role, isn't he? And try to play in their midfield runners and play in Greenwood, and obviously he shoots from everywhere, Fernandes. But when it doesn't go his way, he's sort of he's a bit of a whinging William, isn't he? Anyway. Yeah, I think Leeds could spring a surprise. I mean, that could be the surprise that you were talking about before, Dave. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on the Leeds players individually?
Not really. I mean, they don't really play. They play as a team. They actually play well as a team. They're more like a unit than individuals, really, aren't they? And that's their strength, I think. I think they play the way they play as a team, like the old school. 11 on the pitch, die hard, we'll do this. The manager's eccentric, as we know. Bielsa will bring his little, he usually sits on something, but sometimes he just squats down, right, ready for action, isn't he? Comes out of the tunnel.
You know why?
Why?
He always squats because there's a video, you can find it. I think it was when he was managing Lazio, although I might not be correct, but he was doing this because he used to sit on the ice box.
Yeah.
And watch the game from there. But he sits on the icebox and he doesn't realise there's an espresso in it, and he gets hot coffee on his ass. And that's why he always squats now, in case someone puts a hot coffee on the icebox. I don't know. He seems like a great guy. What do you make of Bielsa, Doug?
Oh, I absolutely love him. It's just his magic. It's just his wee bucket he just sits on every single game. I absolutely love it. I think I think he's a character. I think it's nice to see him stay with Leeds. I think he'd be one of my favourite managers who have obviously not managed the LFC, but he's a character. I think he's great fun for the Premier League. Hopefully, obviously, he's got his translator as well. So maybe he's trying to learn English. It would be nice to see him actually speak English in the post-match interviews. But no, I think he's a breath of fresh air as Bielsa.
If he needs a teacher, I'm here.
There you go.
I'm actually going to learn Spanish. I decided this morning because in Paris you get subsidized training by the local town hall, the city hall subsidizes training for people. So it's brilliant. You pay like €100 for a whole year.
Wow.
Of lessons, and once a week. But I'm going to sign up for like 2 or 3 classes, and Spanish definitely one of them. So yeah, Marcelo, si quieres an English teacher, let me know, por favor. Okay.
The only Spanish I know is sangria.
Oh, Luis Garcia, of course.
Yeah. Torres means bulls, I think, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it does, the bull, like a torreo. I don't know. Maybe that's not. No, toro. Sorry,
Toro.
Excuse me.
El Toro.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, okay. So Everton, Southampton. Any thoughts? Anybody?
Jesus Christ! Well, it's Rafa's first game, of course.
Rafa's first game.
He's got to get off to a flying start there, or he's at a hiding to nothing. To be honest, guys. I mean, I've seen them in pre-season. They were absolutely dour. I mean, it's just typical Everton, really, isn't it? It's the famous typical, like Arsenal last night. Typical Arsenal. I can't see Everton doing much. To be fair, I really can't. Well, just for Rafa's sake, they've got to get a few wins under their belt quick.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be in trouble if they don't, because there's a large sway of those fans that just don't like him, obviously because of his Liverpool links.
I mean, let's have a look at it. I mean, we got Everton, Southampton, Leeds, Everton, Brighton, Everton. Brighton away is not easy. Burnley's never easy. Villa away is not easy. Norwich, okay, September the 25th, they should beat Norwich. But then
Norwich beat them last time at Goodison as well. Beat them 2-0.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Man United, West Ham. I mean, Watford. Maybe 2 of these opening, 10 games are quite easy. But no, I think he's on a hiding to nothing anyway, and I think maybe he's he's playing to get the sack. I mean, most managers sign a contract with a clause if they get the sack, they get like $1 million compensation. I think that would be pretty.
And the rest.
But yeah, it depends on the contracts. But yeah, I mean, let's. So I mean, it could be just genius by his agent.
He gets 20 million. He gets 20 million if he relegates Everton. Liverpool are going to give him 20 million.
No, I love Everton just as they are. They're perfect. One win every 16 years. Go on, Dan.
I think if we're obviously speaking about Everton, we have to speak about Southampton. Ings, Bertrand, Vestergaard, like they're all gone now. I worry for Southampton. I really do. They keep selling their best players.
I put up a tweet on when they sold Vestergaard. Was it Thursday to Leicester City? And I said, I really worry for Southampton. They're going to find it hard to stay in the Premier League. And the backlash I got from Southampton fans going, what do you mean by that? How do you come to that conclusion? I went, what? I didn't even answer. I mean, they're selling your best players. They struggled last season. They were tit for tat for going down. And if you sell 2 or 3 of your best players and don't bring in anybody of the same quality, it's going to be hard for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, is the thinking that we'll just take the money and then we'll be happy to go down to the Championship and take the sort of windfall payment they get for getting relegated and then try and come back? But it's. I mean, I would be devastated if I was a Southampton fan. Let's look at their team. McCarthy's a good goalkeeper. Walker Peters is pretty good as a player. Dale Stevens, Romeu, Shane Long. Sorry, Dave, because he's your fellow compatriot.
No, Shane Long.
He's awful, isn't he?
I'll tell you one player I like off Southampton, Ward-Prowse.
Ward-Prowse. Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah,
and there's actually a link that he could be going to Villa. I heard last week. So if he goes, they're really in trouble.
Oh, crumbs.
Totally. But what would you do if you were him? Would you jump the sinking ship
from the Southampton port? I probably would. Yeah, probably. He's been there a long time. I mean, he's probably looking at it and going, we're selling all our best players. And even if they think of selling him, he's probably saying, well, they're going to sell me as well. So, I mean, like, get the money, try bring in two. See, it's getting tight now to bring in players. If you sell your best players now, to try to bring them in, what have you got, 2 weeks left? 2 weeks to try to get the best players in, and then you're struggling against teams that you're trying to buy off. They know you're panicking.
Two weeks on Tuesday, Dave. 2 weeks on Tuesday, the window closes.
It's tight.
I think, it could be panic. Could be panic stations. What do you think, Doug? What would you do if you were Ward-Prowse? Would you bugger off?
I think. Excuse me. Had a late night. I was working last night, so I had a bit of a late night. I think Ward-Prowse will stay at Southampton. I don't see him leaving this summer. I'd be very, very surprised if Southampton decided to sell Ward-Prowse after selling Ings, Bertrand, and Vestergaard. I would be extremely surprised. But no, I don't see it. I honestly, if they sell Ward-Prowse, there's no creativity in that midfield, and Ward-Prowse is our most creative player in the side, in my opinion, anyway. So, yeah, I think Ward-Prowse will stay.
Fair enough. Okay, let's because I think this one, Everton, Southampton.
Sorry, I'll have to go soon. Okay.
All right, Dave. No worries. Yeah, you just duck out whenever you like.
Yeah, great. I'll talk to you soon. Doug, Owen, stay safe. Get a win today, boys. Let's go.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, all the
Cheers,
best.
Dave. Take care, mate.
Take care. Okay, and then there were two. Everton, Southampton. I think because the crowds, I mean, all it takes is an early goal for Southampton. And imagine if they lose to Southampton, they'll be setting fire to the seats at the Old Lady, wouldn't they? But But there you go. Leicester Wolves. Wolves, a new attacking style, apparently, under their new manager, who's got a great name, Lager. Was it Bruno Lager? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, I don't know if it's pronounced Lager or Lage. I don't know how you
large.
would.
Yeah, in Portuguese, you often don't pronounce the last vowel. I know that, and it could be large. Yeah, it could be. So it's either large or lager. It's either beer or big. But there you go. So Leicester Wolves. If Wolves attack Leicester, they'll be absolutely torn apart. And if they don't attack Leicester, then I don't know. Then they try and shut up shop. I think that would be their best approach. What do you think?
Yeah, I think. I think the thing with Leicester is that they all need to improve their home form. I think away from home they were much better. They were losing very silly games. Like they lost to Fulham. I think they lost to Newcastle. I think they lost to Villa as well. So they do lose silly games when you least expect it. But Wolves, new formation. I believe Bruno Lage is wanting to play a 4-4-2. I think today as well. So I know we can say this in hindsight, obviously with Origi. If Wolves were to come in for Origi, I think him and Jimenez up front would be very interesting. I think they would work well as a pair.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I can't see anything past Leicester in this game. I honestly can't.
Let's have a look at some of these insights. Leicester have lost just one of their last 24 home league games against Wolves, 1-14, drawn 9. Okay. Do you pay much attention to these sort of historical record stats, Doug, or not really?
Well, our opening game, our opening games record, I think is like 17 wins, 8 draws, and 4 defeats. I think in the Premier League era. So. I don't really look into that. I mean, you're there to be beaten. You are there to be beaten. But yeah, it has been a while since Wolves beat Leicester at the King Power, and I think it's been a long time actually since Leicester won at Molineux as well. So something's definitely got to give in this one.
Yeah, totally. Okay, since Wolves returned to the Premier League in 2018, they failed to score in 5 of their 6 meetings with Leicester. Okay, there you go. And with the exception being a 4-3. So they either...
Oh, that was a mad game, that one.
Or they win 4-3. There you go. Do you remember this one? I don't remember this one.
Yeah, it was a mad game. It was like Leicester took the lead, Wolves equalised, Wolves went 2-1 in front, then it was 2-2, Wolves went 3-2, then it was 3-3, and then Jota scored a hat-trick. That was a mad game. But that was when Claude Puel was in charge of Leicester. And Leicester were on a really, really bad run then as well.
Okay, so yeah, it'll be a different team today. Okay, Leicester have won their opening fixture in just one of the last 5 Premier League campaigns. Okay, Wolves haven't lost their opening league game in any of the last 8 campaigns. So this could all change today. Leicester have lost 3 of their last 4 Premier League games, as many as they had in the previous 13. So there you go, the late collapse, the late Leicester collapse. Okay. What's the next one on the list is Watford against Villa. What are you looking forward to in this one, Doug?
The Ashley Young derby, apparently. Obviously, Ashley Young signed for Aston Villa. Apparently, the Villa are actually sweating over the fitness of a few players. I think Buendia is one of them. I think I don't think Bailey's going to be available. I think he's still having to isolate, obviously having come from Germany as well. But Danny Ings, what a player! I fully expect Villa to win that one. In all honesty, I think the attacking prowess of Ings, you'll probably have Trezeguet, you'll probably have like the McGinn, Douglas Luiz as a pivot as well. Their squads, I think this is the strongest Aston Villa squad that I can remember, especially in the Premier League. So yeah, I think Villa will win that comfortably.
I think so as well. I'm going to have a look at a bit of Watford, because I don't really know anything about them these days, to be honest. So their manager, Cisco Munoz, okay, they love sacking their managers. I remember that. But if you look at, maybe I'll look at a different site. This one's pretty good. Do you know footystats.org? Do you know this one?
Yeah, I know
Very
that one.
good snap.
Yeah.
Snap tools. We'll just have a quick look at Watford before we move on to the Liverpool game last. Oh, yeah, clever advertising. Yes, it is clever because I clicked on the wrong freaking button. Oh.
I like that.
Okay. So stats, there you go. Oh, can we go back to last season? There you go, last season. Let's have a look then. So points per game, 1.98, 1.37 goals scored per match, 0.65 conceded. That's quite good. Home form, much better than their away form. That's quite normal, unless it's COVID times. And there you go, medium risk, home advantage plus 30%. Okay. And the basic stats, XG for, XG against, all that stuff. Do you pay much attention to these kind of stats, Doug?
Not really. In all honesty, I think the thing is with Watford though is you don't really expect them to keep a manager all season. I think Watford are that kind of club that like to get rid of the manager and then bring someone in. I think they had 3 or 4 managers the last time when they were in the Premier League as well. So who knows? It'll be interesting. I've not heard of the new one. Cisco Munoz. Never heard of him. So
yeah. Me too. Let's have a look. Let's Google him. See what Wikipedia says about him. Cisco wasn't he a defensive midfielder back in the day? Played as a left winger. There you go. So,
okay.
Okay. So senior career. Okay. Teams managed Dinamo Tbilisi, Pobla Mafumet, and Watford. I mean, well, that's an eclectic career, isn't it? There's Luke. Excuse me, Luke. I'm not used to this StreamYard thing. Have you been there for a while? So sorry.
Only for a few minutes, mate. It's all right.
Oh, man.
Hello, Luke. You okay?
How you doing, Doug? Not bad. All good, you?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
It's great to see you, Luke. Yeah, so you're off refereeing today, are you?
I am. I've got a game at 3:00. Burnham Ramblers, a big trip. It was a trip for me. It's about an hour's drive. So looking forward to that.
Wow.
Should be back for the Liverpool game, hopefully, because my game kicks off at 3. So fortunately enough, Liverpool kick off at 5:30. So
yeah, you need to make sure you don't give any additional time at the end of the game. Just there you go, 45 minutes. That's enough. How long have you been a referee?
So this is my 3rd season.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll be my first full season because the last 2 seasons I've been doing it, it's been affected by COVID. So it's like I've had, obviously we've had months off away from it, but hopefully this season it should hopefully go full throughout the whole season. I mean, last year we restarted in March and we went a bit further, like until the end of June sort of thing. So like we haven't sort of really had a major of a pre-season really. We've just gone straight into friendlies after a week or two when the league seasons have ended before, and now we're back again. So
I find it, yeah, that's not ideal. I find it a fascinating subject, refereeing. One of my students is the head of refereeing in France, and another one of my students is the head of VAR in France. And I wonder if you've had a look at the changes to the VAR protocol, especially for this season in the Premier League. It's got to help Liverpool, hasn't it?
Do you know what? A little bit. I mean, I watched an interview with was it Michael Oliver and Anthony Taylor, and they were saying about, you know, the main one is the lines for offside as well. Like it might make it a bit easier. I mean, there was an incident last night I saw in the Brentford Arsenal game where I think it was Balogun in the first half. He went into the area and there was the Brentford player had just got contact on the ball first before he came into the Arsenal player, and it was, I think if that was last year, I think you may have seen a penalty, but I think this year, I think they're trying as best as they can to try and let the game flow as much as they can, as you would know. But I mean, it's there to help VAR, of course. Like it's obviously there to help, but hopefully, Some of the decisions that were made last year, hopefully they can correct it this year. So
I think that would help Liverpool because last year the idea was there contact in the box, which for a contact sport like football, I think was a bit of a silly idea. And this season, it seems more sensible to me that they're going to analyse the type of contact and was it enough to go down. And if strikers throw themselves on the floor, then it's not going to be a free kick or a penalty anymore. And what do you think of those kind of changes, Doug?
It's very, very confusing, isn't it? I like the fact that they're now saying that accidental handball has to happen if it doesn't actually affect the player that actually scores the goal, which I think is great because most of them were really infuriating last season as well. So it'll be interesting. At least we haven't had to, touch wood. We obviously haven't had any sort of decisions yet. But I hope it works better than last season, and that they've taken a bit of hints from the Euros because they actually worked really well in the Euros, I thought.
Yeah, I think they added that on as well. They did say about the Euros worked quite well. I think the incident with Sterling for the penalty. I mean, as an England fan, it was never a penalty in my opinion. But obviously you take it, because obviously the situation we was in. But yeah, I think them sort of situations. I mean, we had one last year, didn't we, at Brighton? Last kick of the game where ball comes on. Was it Welbeck and Robertson just got he hardly touches him, but VAR goes and has a look. And I mean, there was loads of them. I think West Ham, Fulham, there was loads of incidents where it was, we're trying to, they were trying to pull away from the fact that football is a contact sport. And, I know it's difficult to try and find what is contact, but with refereeing, it's very difficult for the referees, I think, because, they're just following the laws of the game at the end of the day. And it's one of those things, but hopefully it will change this season.
Well, something I didn't realise until I started teaching these guys and really talking about it in depth, the idea of refereeing and what, is how many decisions on the pitch, and you'll get this at any level, how many decisions on the pitch are subjective to a degree. Because, you as the ref, you have to sort of draw a line somewhere in every match as to what's acceptable and what's not. And do you find that a big challenge when you're refereeing, Luke?
I think when I referee, particularly, I played football for a number of years before I went into reffing a few years ago, and I do see a major difference when you're playing compared to when you're refereeing a game. I'm one of those types of referees, for me, that I like to let the game flow as much as I can. Obviously, there are some times where it's quite frustrating because that when you could probably blow up for a free kick, for example, like accidentally, and there's an advantage that could be played, and then you're getting moaned at saying, "Oh, why didn't you play the advantage?" And it's like you're kind of balancing it out because there's 3 or 4 incidents before where you've played an advantage beforehand, and then they don't want it's do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes they want a free kick, sometimes they won't. It's quite difficult in that sense, but it's definitely enjoyable.
Sorry, I'm just looking on Twitter. There seems to be fighting in a Manchester street, but it's just drunken yobs by the looks of things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's in a bit of trouble again, are they? I mean, look what happened last year with Liverpool, and now the fans are back. It's don't look good.
It doesn't. No, I hate all that stuff. I think, it's always alcohol as well, alcohol fueled, but it's like idiots plus alcohol is trouble. I'm not a mathematician, but there seems to be some kind of link. So for, in terms of the game, so you're going to miss Man United Leeds, but let's go through some quick predictions and things. What do you think is going to happen, Luke? Man United Leeds?
I'll hear what Doug said earlier, and I kind of agree with him. I do think that. I looked at the game last year. I know Man United absolutely destroyed them. Was it 6-2? But
yeah,
first game of the season, Leeds are going to be up for it. I think they've had a bit more of a pre-season, I would say, compared to United because of Euro commitments.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 United I think I mentioned earlier. I think 2-1 United, but I do think it's going to be quite a close game. It can go either way. I mean, I hope Leeds get a result, of course, but I would.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, but I think United are just going to edge it 2-1.
Excellent stuff. What about you, Doug?
Well, my prediction is a 3-1 United, but I've just got a feeling that actually might be wrong. Leeds United are probably one of the only teams you do not want to face in a first league game, and especially Manchester United. I think Manchester United fans have been saying this. I think the last morning Connor. I think the last team that Manchester United would have wanted to face in the first game was Leeds United. So this is going to be a very, very tricky game. I expect a very, very good open game. I am going to stick with my 3-1, but I think it'll be probably a lot closer than that.
It's a great prediction. Absolutely could happen. Get your. There you go. I was just about to say, hello, Connor. Great to see. Good to have you with us. 2-2 draw for you. I think it could be a draw. I think that's a very good shout. A very good shout. Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw as well because I think United, I don't know, having the crowd back will really help them if it goes well. But if it goes badly,
yeah,
it's not Everton levels of toxicity, but it's not good for their health. Old Trafford, Burnley, Brighton. What do you think, Luke?
0-0.
0-0. Yeah, there you go. Let's go to the next one. Chelsea, Crystal Palace. Luke, what do you think about that one?
Again, I mean, the recent form guide for Chelsea, you expect them to win this game at home as well. But I think Crystal Palace have been, especially at Selhurst Park, they've been a little bit of a bogey side for Chelsea. So I think Chelsea will, playing in midweek as well, they're quite tired. They played extra time. It might affect them a little bit. I still think Chelsea will win this game, but I'll probably say 2-0 Chelsea. But again, it won't be I don't think it'll be a walk in the park for them. I do think they'll have to work hard to get that 2-0.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's a really good answer. I suppose when we're doing predictions, we shouldn't really give the score so much. I'm going to change it because you're absolutely right. Crystal Palace could win, and so maybe we'll think of it in terms of percentages, like the bookies do. So, what percentage would you give for a Chelsea victory, a draw, and a Crystal Palace victory, Doug?
Chelsea. Ooh. My prediction, funnily enough, for this one is 1-1. I actually think Palace can go and get something at Chelsea. I think probably 50% win for Chelsea. I would say 25% draw, and then probably 25% Palace.
Okay.
I think it's quite split down the middle, actually.
But your feeling is a draw. Yeah, good. Okay,
My feeling is a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do it like that. So Chelsea, Crystal Palace. I think it's a 70% chance of a Chelsea victory. I think it's a 10% chance of Crystal Palace victory, and then the rest is a draw because my maths is so bad. That's 20%. Even I can do that. Okay. Everton, Southampton. What do you think, Luke?
I mean, I'd love Agent Rafa to turn up and Southampton to get a win. That would be lovely. I think Everton will have fans back this year, which they missed out on a lot. I think they had the 15th worst home record in the Premier League last season at home. So it's I spoke to a lot of Everton fans that obviously tell me about that, but I think Everton. I think they'll win this game. I'd say a 70% chance they'll win this game. And I think the rest of the percentage, to be fair, I think would be a draw. I just can't see Southampton losing Danny Ings, losing Vestergaard, losing one or two other key players. There's a lot of uncertainty around Ward-Prowse as well, so that might be on their mind.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I think
absolutely. Yeah, it's looking that way. Would you agree, Doug?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I can't really see anything other than an Everton win in this one, unfortunately.
The hounds will be kept at bay. Yes, I think you're right. I think it's like a 90% chance of an Everton win. You never know in football, but I would say a 90% chance Everton win, an 8% draw, and 2% Southampton win. But there you go. Leicester Wolves. I mean, I think Leicester are going to hammer them. I really do. I would say, by a few clear goals. Again, 90% Leicester win. Because I just think Wolves with a new manager, new way of playing, it will take time to develop, and you don't want to be going to Leicester, who have got some exciting players. Doug, what about you? Leicester Wolves.
Absolutely agree. I think it's got 2-0, 3-0 probably written all over this one, I'm afraid to say. I think Leicester will beat Wolves pretty comfortably, but it'll be nice to see Raul Jimenez back. I think that's a big plus factor to have him back, because that was a serious injury that he got as well. It'll be also nice to see Pedro Neto come back when he returns as well. Cracking player is Pedro Neto. But yeah, I just see Leicester having too much for Wolves today.
There you go. What about you, Luke?
Yeah, I think it's a full house. I mean, I think Leicester. I said in my Premier League predictions, I think this is the season where Leicester could get into that top four. I do think that they've added some good investment into their squad. I mean, the only downside for their start of the season is losing Fofana. I mean, that's a massive loss for them. But again, I agree with you, Owen. I think a new manager coming into a very difficult job, and you're going to a Leicester side who are very, very good and score a lot of goals. So again, I can't see no more than a Leicester win. Again, I agree with Doug, 2-3-0.
And what is your top four? Who are they? Who's going to drop out in place of Manchester United?
Yeah, I assessed it. The reason why I don't know what particular order. I mean, hopefully Liverpool win the league, but it's going to be difficult. But I don't know what order it would be. But I think Liverpool, City, and Chelsea will be the three. I just think out of the four sides, I think United are not the strongest out of the four. If obviously we have everyone, or not everyone. Of course, we're going to get injuries, but not as many injuries as we did last year. Hopefully not. But I think it's out of all the four teams in that top four, I think United are definitely the weaker out of the four. So that's why I think Leicester will be one of their main challenges to take that fourth spot from them. So yeah, I think United would drop out.
Excellent stuff. I mean, let's hope so. That would be brilliant if they end up in the Europa League after all this fanfare and false dawns. Excellent stuff. Watford, we've already done that one. Norwich, Liverpool. Let's just go there. Norwich, Liverpool. How excited are you, Doug? On a scale of 1 to 60 million.
I'm absolutely buzzing.
Being really a lot.
I'm absolutely buzzing for this game. It's just a sense of excitement that Premier League football's back, and yeah, look, I think it's a good game for us. Like, obviously, we have to feel sorry for Norwich. I think they've got a lot of COVID injuries and that alone as well. So I think if we get an early goal, I think we could settle. Be interested to see who starts today. I think there've been a lot of people saying that it could be a midfield of Fab, Naby, and Nona. I wouldn't mind that. And then obviously there's talk of Van Dijk and potentially Matip. But obviously I want to see Matip and Konate. I know we had our wee preview the other day, and I think we were both saying that we want Konate and Matip on the team sheet as well. So. But I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go for Salah to score, because he seems to score in every opening day game. I think he's scored in every opening day game, actually, for Liverpool, has Mo Salah. And I'm going to go for Jota to come off the bench and get the second. Excellent stuff. Yeah, wonderful stuff. How are you feeling, Luke, on a scale of 1 to 60 million?
I mean, I can't really go 60 million because we don't really spend that amount of money. I'm probably not joking. I agree with both of you. I'm just looking forward to this game. It's been just felt like such a long time, isn't it? That we've not seen Liverpool play a proper competitive game. I know. Yeah, it's just strange, but I can't see nothing more today than a Liverpool win. They've looked I think, a lot sharper in pre-seasons compared to other pre-seasons, even though 1 or 2 results haven't been the way we wanted it. But I do think Liverpool are up for it. And yeah, I think I'll go with that one.
Oh, there's always one, Dave. There's always one.
I'm going to go. I mean, was it 2 seasons ago we beat them 4-1 on the opening day?
Yeah.
I went 3-1 in my predictions on Thursday when myself, Ricky, and we had Coppish on this weekend or last weekend. So we said 3-4-1. So we'll probably go around that sort of mark. I think we'll concede because I think it's going to be a strange one. Who's going to play at centre back today? I think I'm probably going to go with Matip. I'd like to see Konate, but there is strong rumours that Van Dijk will be starting today. We'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You just have to trust the sports science people, don't you? I mean, they've got all of the readings. I said this in a previous show I did that we don't know how many white blood cells he's got in his system. We don't know how much oxygen he has in his blood after running 10K. And these kind of things are how you assess if top athletes are fit enough to play game of very intense football. So, we don't know, do we? So, yeah, we just have to trust the medical people that they, if they say that Van Dijk's fit, then, play him.
Mo Salah, it says here, could create Premier League history with a goal in Liverpool's season opener against Norwich City today. If he scores at Carrow Road, he will become the first Premier League player ever to strike on 5 successive opening weekends. 2 goals for Liverpool from any source this afternoon meal would bring up the landmark of 8,000 in the club's overall league history.
I thought you were going to say since Jurgen Klopp joined, it feels like about 8,000 goals. Because it's been brilliant, and he is still the star on top of our Christmas tree. I think the Christmas tree would not be complete without him. And I think he's I don't know, he's the one who brings all the joy to the occasion. And long may he reign over us, King Jurgen. But thank you, guys. I'm going to stop there because I'm going to make a cup of tea and I'm going to reheat some of the chili sin carne that I made yesterday, which is absolutely delicious. And then, so that's my plan. What's your plan? You're going to go and referee? Luke and Doug, what's your plan? You're going to watch Man United now?
Yeah, I'm going to watch Man United with hopeful that Leeds get a result. It'd be nice.
Exactly. Well, thanks, for being in the comments. I think Dave's there as well. Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you very, very much, Luke. And thank you, Doug. And let's do this again sometimes. It was really good fun. Take care, guys. Good luck.
Cheers. Take care.
Bye-bye.